I remember falling asleep at the club. I was sleeping at the...
Was it at Bar Cathedral?
Hey, listeners of Back and Body Hurts podcast. This is the year 2024. We are recording our first episode. We have heard all your feedbacks and reviews on 2023, and we are fully appreciative of all the support, and we will continue to improve. And as you can see here, we are introducing a new guest, but I'm your host, Yikern, and I would like to introduce members of Back and Body Hurts podcast. To my right here is our guest speaker, Belinda. Say hi.
Hello, hi everyone.
Yeah, and to the right of Belinda is Sani.
Hey everyone.
And to the right of Sani is Benny.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah. So just gonna talk a little bit segue on before we jump into talk about Belinda. We want to talk a little bit about the news that happened in January. So Veld lineup and Escapade lineup did drop. These are the two like pretty big Ontario festivals that you can attend to, and if you are local, it's relatively cheap rather than going to international festivals. So
it's good that they released it early.
Yeah, it's good that they released it early, and then you can make your decisions to start buying your tickets, your train tickets, for pretty much dirt cheap price.
Yeah.
So we just want to talk a little bit about the lineup. Let's go over to the Escapade lineup. I just want to see it. It is pretty stacked if you like house music and bass
it's
music.
been like I think we've all been.
Yeah.
It's been good like every single time. Like
For
they
sure.
just keep getting better and better.
It keeps getting better and better.
Escapade's always fun. The lineup is... I don't think it's like amazing, but I think it's always a fun time.
Yeah.
Oh, for those who don't know, Escapade's in Ottawa.
Escapade is in Ottawa, yes.
It is a multi-genre festival as well, so you can get... Other than techno, there's no techno there. but there's
No
there's some trance, there's some good house, there's some mainstream, there's some
bass.
Some
Lots
bass,
of, there's
yeah.
a bass stage.
Yeah. Well, they used to have a trance stage.
Yeah,
they
used to have a
did. They
trance
did
stage.
the one the 2022, I think they had the trance stage.
Yes.
With
I've been, because like when I was, the first time I went to Escapade, it was last year, and I was looking at the previous lineup, and every year before that had a trance stage. I was like, oh, kind of excited to go to. But last year they switched the trance stage to a bass stage.
They had a... Oh, yeah.
They switched the trance stage to a bass stage, and that's when I first started appreciating bass. Excision broke the barrier, and I've been going to a lot of bass events because of that.
Usually the trance stage is only one day, though.
Yeah, usually it's like day
So
one.
just
I
one
think
day.
when we went, it was just day one. It was like Cosmic Gate, Marcus Schultz, someone else too.
Did Nefra play 2022?
Which one?
Nefra?
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she was right
Yeah.
before. I think she was right before Cosmic Gate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like they had it, but now it's like, even the trance one here. I'm assuming it's just gonna be one day. Also in the little, what do they call it? The convention, like little convention center. I don't even know what it is.
The little stadium.
The little stadium, the stadium one.
I
It's not in the
don't-
stadium. It's in like that enclosed area.
Yeah.
It's like a church, right?
Yeah, it looks like a church essentially.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just going to go through a little bit on the lineup.
Some notables, yeah.
Yeah, some notables. Armin van Buren, DJ Diesel,
Shaq.
Shaq.
Yeah.
Alias.
For those who don't know, Shaq DJs, and he
Yeah.
goes by DJ Diesel.
Yeah.
And
It's
he
gonna
does
be hype.
dubstep.
I think that's gonna be hype.
It
really
it's
hypes up
hype.
the crowd.
Yeah.
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 Even if you don't like the music, I think you're gonna have a good time.
Yeah. I think everyone needs to see Diesel once, no matter
Yeah.
what genre
Yeah.
you are. You just gotta see Shaq DJ. It's so
That's
good.
true, yeah. And then ISOXO, Noctu, Elenium. Those are kind of big names out there. Seven Lions, Steve Aoki, if you like Big Room.
If you wanna be cake too.
Yeah. If you want to be cake too.
Especially
yeah.
on a main stage, it's
Yeah.
usually a festival goal for a lot of people.
Yeah, start training your shoulders and your squats so you can shoulder right someone to get caked.
Yeah.
it'll
And you
be
need
an
a sign.
experience. You need a sign too.
Sign always helps.
Yeah,
Cake
a
me.
sign,
Cake
a
me,
sign,
yeah.
a sign that says it's my birthday. Please cake me.
Yes.
Yes.
It's not actually your birthday, but you.
Yeah,
like-
yeah, but you write it. Yeah.
People won't even know that.
Yeah. And then there is Maddox. Maddox is pretty big. Slander. You have Shami for pretty good.
I'm so
deep
happy
house.
they're bringing back No Redemption because
Yeah.
I feel like they haven't done it in a while.
What's a no redemption?
No Redemption is when Chami and Mala do a back to back. And like honestly, it's flawless.
Yeah.
Like their seamless setup is like really good.
Interesting.
They play off each other.
Uh,
I've seen a couple sets from them, and it's always been very good.
yeah. Dog Eat Dog, Crank That, and Riot 10.
Yeah,
That's
I've heard good things about that one too. This is like not your wheelhouse, isn't
Yeah.
it? For some of the bass stuff, right?
Yeah. this is-
No.
I said we'll get into that.
a lot of these artists are like that. for me
Bell's
too.
more of a trance
Trance,
head,
yes.
so yeah, it's obviously
Trance,
like
techno.
Yeah.
you haven't been to Escapade, right?
No, I haven't.
No.
Really?
Maybe-
Yeah,
I
maybe
mean,
this is the
maybe
year.
this is the year.
Maybe this the year because what's that? Luminosity is the week after. So Luminosity
It
is
always clashes with Luminosity,
Yeah.
actually,
It
which is
usually
a
did. Now it
festival in the
doesn't.
Netherlands. Yeah.
Yeah.
So those who do not know, just adding on to what Belinda said, it's a festival in Netherlands, Amsterdam. It's a 4-day trance festival, and it's like, all day.
Yeah.
All trance.
What's the Ferry Corson presents?
Guriella. So
Yeah.
that's one of his aliases.
Yeah.
Ferry has, I think, technically he has three. It's
System
Ferry,
F.
Ferry Corsten, System F, and Guriella. And Guriella is like the classic trance sound.
Oh.
It's more
Yeah.
melodies,
Yeah.
more melodies.
The
Really good.
melodies.
We saw it in 2021. Dreams. Did you see those set in 2021 Dream State when you went?
I think I saw a part of it. Yeah.
Part of it? Yeah. It was on the main stage. It was I think it was right before Audion.
Maybe.
is
Yeah. I
when
remember
I-
Audion closed on day 2 of Dream State.
Yeah.
Have you guys
So-
seen Vinny Vici recently?
Vinny Vici, I saw him 2 years ago.
Yeah, I saw him at Toy Box. It was bad.
It's been bad.
It was
Our
not
friend
good.
saw him at Dream State this
State.
past November, and apparently they were on the mic 23 times.
Counted.
Yeah, I think he
Counted.
counted. I think he
Yes.
counted. He's like, it was like 23 times that they're on the mic. I just cannot. Like, there's better artists. Sorry,
So-
there's better side trance
Better
artists
side
out
trance, yeah.
there, but
So Vinny
it's a good
Vici
intro.
plays psytrance, and it's very fast paced.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it used to be. I don't know what his sound is today,
But,
but the last time I saw him it was not it.
You know what I like about this lineup? Some of the drum and bass now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On it.
The drum and bass.
yes,
Yeah, there's
there
drum
is
and bass
Chase
there.
and
Chase and Status.
There's Chase and
Oh.
Status.
So
Pretty big.
Imanu Back Night Punk might do a little bit of drum and bass. There was another one too. Well, I guess really it's just chasing status, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's like, that's, but it's nice to see because they've what is it over the after our last episode. I think we didn't talk about New Year's, but we saw Chasing Status on the New Year's weekend. That was really
Yeah.
good. That was-
I didn't go because
Where
I
was
got,
it
Oh
then?
right.
Yeah. Because
You had
I-
to get. Yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
you got to get rid of your ticket.
Yeah, I was personally invited to a birthday party, so I had to give up my ticket.
Good profit though.
Yeah.
Sorry, resale.
I know. I actually sold it for a cost.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Nice,
sold it for
nice.
cost,
Oh
yeah.
man, as I said, we've talked about this before. Resale market's like
Exactly.
insane sometimes.
It's better to buy early and sell than try to buy from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find that if you buy from, on the aftermarket, it's like you run into the chance of buying from a scammer, and that's the worst
Yeah.
case.
Yeah.
And scammers are pretty.
It's bad
It's
now.
bad.
It's bad now.
It's
It's
bad
really
now.
bad now.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
they see how much you can actually scalp the tickets, and the scammers are actually on the rise.
Yeah.
So be careful. Go listen to our episode to see how we can identify scammers. Make sure that you ask them to send proof of purchase. Check if their profile is sort of legit. Not fake friends or like have any posts in their Facebook
Or like they
account.
just
But you
created a
gotta
Facebook
watch
account
out
today.
too with
Mm-hmm.
the proof of purchase, because sometimes I've actually gotten scammed before. Like people ask for proof of purchase and not buy from you, and then use your proof of purchase
Mhm.
to scam other people.
I've seen that.
Oh.
I've seen that.
Oh.
It's actually
So,
very bad.
yeah. So you gotta watch out. Like
You just gotta make sure the name matches. If the name doesn't matches, then just
Yeah.
just red flag it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Red flag it. As I said, the
Never
watch
heard of
our
that
it's
before.
hard.
watch our
Yeah.
episode on it. We touch upon it. We'll probably follow up on it in case with more feedback if we need to talk about it. But yeah, like overall, if for those considering Escapade as we're gonna talk about Vel next, but Escapade as the other Ontario, it is a very good festival. Great one to go with your friends. Only a 5-hour drive from Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
it's
You can also take
it's
a
also
train.
like an adventure because you're leaving Toronto
Yeah.
and you're going to a different city. You kind of get
But
the
it's still
same.
close, right?
Yeah,
It's
it's
still
still close
close,
enough,
yeah.
and
So
you
it's-
still get that adventure feeling, which is which is something you like.
And the way the city's set up too, it works nicely for like you can be close to a hotel, walking distance, a small
Exactly,
Uber.
yeah.
Usually a lot of times we Uber there and then we walk back, which is like 20-30 minutes because calling an Uber at the end of the festival is kind of a mess.
Yeah.
I don't think we're at any festival at the end.
It is,
Yeah.
but the nice thing about Escapade is you can walk at least back.
Yeah, exactly.
Transit
Yeah.
is free. Is
I
it?
think it
Transit
is
is
free.
free.
Is
Yeah.
it going
It is free,
going there is free as well?
Yeah, I think transit on the day if you have the pass, it's free.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I see. I never looked into that much.
Yeah.
I think it's because like I don't what is there a bus that runs that way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
a pretty.
I
It's
never-
a pretty central part of where all the buses go past. So it's like it's connected to pretty much everything.
So
Yeah.
if you guys had to go to this festival, who's your top artist you'd want to see?
Since I miss Chase and Status, I would definitely go to Chase and Status. I would want to go to. Yeah, I think Chase and Status
Would
I
be
think,
top for you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
would
yeah.
be the top for me.
How about you, Benny?
Probably Maddox.
Maddox?
Yeah. I do want to see Fisher because I've never seen Fisher.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Saw him for a little bit at ARC 2021. It was okay.
Yeah.
But it was like really packed.
It would be for.
Yeah.
I mean, Tech House is still huge in.
Yeah,
NA.
so ARC is a festival in Chicago.
Mhm.
It's a 3-day festival. I think it's
Well,
All
it's
house and
before-
techno.
On
All house.
2021, during the first year, it was actually only 2 days.
oh, it's only 2 days.
Ah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Same thing with Escapade. It's
'Cause that was his
originally
debut,
2
right?
days.
Debut, yeah.
Yeah,
And it
yeah.
was actually like after COVID, so like I guess it was like their trial run, and then they saw it was very successful, so I guess they made it more days, and they kept going on it with 2022.
It's been
2023.
successful every year. Like we went this past
Yeah, we
this
did.
past year, and it was like it was just like how I felt about Escapade is how I felt about ARC.
Mhm.
Great, Chicago's a great city.
Yeah.
It was good to go to.
Good with friends.
Good with friends. Easy transport there. Good
Yeah.
afters.
Yeah.
Just even the afters at Escapade, not bad for what you're getting.
I don't know.
I personally.
I never been to afters.
Okay, you never?
Yeah.
Okay, I find they're okay for what you're getting.
If it is afters, I usually just go to like house parties.
But I would say Escapade's one after where you could probably skip. I will
Yeah,
say that.
yeah.
I will say that.
The
Like, you don't need to
afters
go
for Escapade is.
because like for ARC, it felt like we couldn't skip Radius. We could not skip Radius Chicago. It was so good.
It was
Is
weird,
it was
yeah.
it because it's Eric Pritt's Hollow?
No.
No.
Well, okay.
Well-
so yes and no, but at the same time, the just Radius is such a good venue.
Radius is amazing. It's like my
Ah,
favorite venue like
I
ever.
see.
Yeah. It's.
All right. Speaking of Eric Pritt's Hollow, we're gonna move on to.
Oh wait. What artist would you want to see on this?
Sorry.
Well,
Yes.
I don't know many of these artists, so
Yeah.
I mean, the trance ones you do know.
I
Yeah.
guess like Goriella, because
Yeah,
classic
Sia
trance
Galera.
vibes.
Yeah. And for me, it'd be Imanu back-to-back Night Punk.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
drum and
back-to-back
bass.
is it's like a hybrid. It mix of trap and drum and bass. So
Nice.
it'd be pretty unique.
I think Escapade is also a very good festival to discover new genres that you never
Exactly. Yeah, it's true.
because there's quite a bit here: house, techno. Oh, wait, is that techno? No, that's not
There's
techno.
like
There's
like tech
Maddox,
house.
we would test-
Well,
There's tech
there's
house.
tech
Techno.
house.
Yeah.
Maddox is techno, but like
Yeah.
that's the
Like
only one down
big
there.
room techno.
Yeah, and then there is trap, and drum and bass, and did I say drum and bass? Yeah,
Yeah.
I said it. And also bass.
Yes,
Yes. All right.
that's good. Now we're
Um,
on to our local one.
So yeah, as I was saying, the Eric Pritt's Hollow. We're just gonna transition that to Vel. He is one of the featured in Phase 1 lineup.
That's wild.
That's
Yeah.
wow.
It's actually it was funny too. I don't know if you guys were watching the TRC thread.
Yeah.
Someone's like when Eric Pritt did, the schedule release for his spring thing.
Yeah.
Oh, Toronto was left out. Eric Pritt hates Toronto. And for those of you who don't
Yeah.
know, I think it was 2 years ago. We were gonna get an Eric Pritt show at History.
Yes.
He got COVID, I believe, the first time.
Rescheduled.
Rescheduled to September.
yeah.
And we had a Cerez D show as well, which
Yeah.
is like wild
Yeah.
at Coda.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be Cerez D and then the History show canceled because of family thing.
Yeah.
Like just that time it was fully canceled.
And then
Yeah.
he just never came
And then
back.
he didn't come back last year. And funny thing is, like couple days right before, someone's like that schedule release. Everyone's like, "Well, Eric Pritt hates Toronto." Lo and behold, Eric Pritt had
Pritt's
something else in store for us, which is like,
Well, it's not spring; it's summer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah. Eric Pritt's Hollow is he brings in his own structures to do his holographic visuals.
Yeah.
And it's you have to see him at least once.
I always
Right.
say that.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
have to see Hollow at least once.
That
It is, like-
and Afterlife, you gotta see at least.
yeah, I would
Yeah.
say same thing about Afterlife. Unless it's not your style of music, then definitely
Yeah.
don't do it.
But like I would say, even for the visuals alone, I would go at least once. Yeah.
So Eric Pritz did a Hollow at Arc. How was that?
Honestly, not bad. Well, set wise, I think it was questionable. Okay, so we are huge Eric Pritz fanboys, and our friend circle is huge Eric Pritz fanboys. So we like the AP set more. I'm pretty sure,
We love
which was
the
like
AP set.
which was like more what we expect from Eric Pritz. My one issue with Hollow nowadays, I've seen it like 3-4 times now, is it's too structured, which is what I don't want from an Eric Pritz set. I kind of want it to be more of a journey.
That's
and-
like the Afterlife stuff too.
and-
It's pretty much just
Yeah,
press
because they have to
play.
match the visuals.
Yeah.
right?
yeah, so
yeah.
it's now, but before I found, like when I saw him in 2019 in New York, I found it apparently all 3 days were different, and like the visuals sunk up with the music, and it was like a different track. Now it's like this visual goes with this track, which is like
Maybe he's getting lazy.
I think it's also to bring it to more places, right?
Yeah.
So
How was the setup outside though?
pretty good.
actually worked.
It
It
actually
worked
worked.
out, yeah.
That's what everyone was. I think this was like one of the first ones. No, Coachella he did outside, which looked huge, and then for Arc it looked pretty good.
Yeah.
like our videos look really good on that one. So
So I think it's gonna be a closer because it needs to be at night.
Yes.
yeah,
yes.
so like literally the one
Definitely.
day I'm already telling people this. It's gonna be the Friday.
Wanna
Stamping that
place a
right
bet?
now. I'm stamping that right now. It's gonna be the Friday because the setup for the stage,
Oh,
just like
yes.
with Arc.
Oh,
Remember?
yeah. They have to do it on Fridays, so,
So
they take it down.
So like to set it up and then take it down is easier than to set it up for day 2 or 3. So
Or you do it on day 3 and then you take it down after.
That too. Yeah.
Yeah, but then you gotta spend the whole entire
Yeah.
night to set it up. Whereas like you can spend
Oh,
a day
that's-
to set it up on Friday.
if I'm a betting man,
That's true.
I'm saying Friday.
Yeah, that's
it just
true.
makes more sense. So for
Yeah,
those
but-
for those single day people,
Wait, so okay, I have a question about like Eric Pritz Hollow on day 1 at Arc. When the structure is set up, all the DJs were playing.
in front of it,
in front of it.
in front of it.
Oh, in
like
front
it
of
was
it, but-
literally set up for him
Oh.
as the closer.
I see.
So that's where I'm saying that it's like
Yeah.
the one nice thing is I think the Veld stage is even bigger than Arc. So
Actually, I really like the sound at Veld.
for the main stage, right?
Yeah, it
it's
actually
good.
sounds really good and really loud too.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
I had to put my earplugs on at the very back.
Did you go? You went last year, right?
I went in 2022 for one day.
You didn't go 20.
I did not go last year.
2023?
Last year's 2023.
Okay.
We're in
Your years
2024
are
now.
getting
Oh my God.
mixed up.
We have to switch
Yeah,
mindsets now.
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Not 2 years ago. I mean, not last year, but 2 years ago.
Yeah. That was my
yeah.
first festival actually.
Veld 2022.
Yeah.
And the Veld stage is huge.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
So like
yeah.
to see Hollow on that stage would actually be pretty cool. So yeah, it's very exciting. And
Go.
high chance AP. at RavePod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully
chance.
another
Eric
Prince
Pritz AV.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm ready
That's
for
so
that.
Yes.
I guess to talk about the other artists,
Yes.
we have your mainstays are Alesso, Cascade, Marshmallow, Garrix, Fisher.
I'm excited for Cascade.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
Cascade.
Yeah,
I'm really
Cascade
excited
is
for
pretty good.
Cascade.
he's
Cas-
really good.
Ca-
And like nostalgia vibes. Like I can get into this later on, but like when I first started in the rave scene, Cascade is one of my very first EDM artists I ever listened to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
and,
what you did.
yeah, it's just like memories.
Absolute legend. One of my favorite moments, like EDM moments, videos wise, is Ultra. For those of you, if you want to look it up, Ultra 2016 Cascade opening. He did Disarm You into.
Disarm.
Lift my head to see you. Good morning.
Disarm is such a great song.
into
Amazing
another song.
song.
I'm drawing blank right now, but his opening was just unreal for that
I
one.
remember I saw him at Digital Dreams, which was another festival in Toronto, back in 2013.
We
I
missed
think
Digital
it was.
Dreams.
2013. Oh, I wasn't-
Yeah, and then I think it was like Above and Beyond played and then Cascade or something like that. But I remember very vividly like a really good Cascade set when I was there, and yeah, I was still like young and like, you know, just like enjoying the vibes and everything, and it was like good memories. I don't know, it's just nostalgia.
Yeah, we were talking about this before. Cascade's great entry level.
Yeah.
Artist.
Like EDM artist.
I think last time we saw him was his Cabana set last year. And honestly, for Cabana set,
That was when
it's a
the
different
last time,
vibe.
yeah.
It's a different vibe. But like a Cascade festival set is always good.
Yeah.
So the first time I saw him was actually in 2015, my first rave, Cascade. This lineup is pretty similar to 2015.
It's a good lineup.
Martin
It's
Garrix was
a
there,
good headliner
Cascade,
lineup. I have no qualms over the headliner.
No
lineup.
problem with this one. I'll actually go this year.
Yeah, I actually kind of want to go this year.
A lot of people will try to go for the hollow day, and it makes sense. Another thing, we talk about AP Eric Priz. What about Cascade Redux? AP?
Yeah, I was saying.
Ooh, that could be good.
So
I was saying like in a previous chat, like Cascade Redux. I saw like a little bit of him ADC 2022. I think
Where he closed, yeah,
he
he
closed
closed the
out
festival.
day 3,
Yeah.
and it was like actually amazing.
can you explain to me what the Redux set is, or Redux? Yeah, I don't know what
What a
that
Cascade Redux set
Yes.
is?
Yeah.
It's like more of his house and techno
Yep.
side, right?
I would say like house techno,
more housey.
more like classic Cascade, I guess, if you can call
Is it
that
house techno or tech house?
Why not all?
I mean,
Is
yeah,
it like
I'm not
really
complaining.
different? Is it really different from what his usual sets are?
I think it's like a throwback to old Cascade
it's
kind of thing.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like a
Yeah.
different vibe.
Yeah.
Where Cascade will like, what's that one song? The fun song? Oh my god. I think he has like No Fun or some fun song.
I'm drawing blanks.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's like mainstream Cascade, and then he has this other side. There's also that nickname Darkade, where he does like Dark Cascade, which is more techno stuff.
I didn't know he plays techno now.
No, but it's like oh, he's gone dark mode.
Oh,
It's pretty
dark
much what
mode.
they- yeah. But yeah, I think all these tickets are on sale right now. I know
Not Belt.
Escapade's almost
Belt's
selling
not
out.
out yet.
Oh, not yet?
No.
Oh, okay,
no.
it's coming up.
Velt's not out yet, but
Ah.
Escapade is almost sold out.
Yeah. So
So,
jump on
yeah.
it if you want to go.
Yeah.
Because resale will be, I think, based on previous years. I think.
Escapade always usually sells out.
Yeah, and the prices don't really tank.
No, they don't. Escapade. The thing with Escapade is, I think you can always find like last minute tickets because sometimes people come from Toronto and they just something
can't go, yeah.
Can't go. Something comes up, they just want to get rid of their tickets.
Yeah, so they usually get it for cost, but usually
Yeah.
they don't take a loss.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
fine.
Yeah.
Usually it's not a loss.
Velt too.
Veld,
too.
I don't know. Sometimes last year it kind of tanked.
But back in 2022, it was.
Yeah,
it was
in
packed.
2022
I mean,
it was expensive.
well, because it's like post-COVID, everybody wants to go out.
Yeah,
So
that had an effect for sure.
that had a big effect. So we're gonna move on to our guest speaker. So just want to introduce a little bit on Belinda. She is a Twitch DJ. She also played at the beach. What is that?
Not a beach, but a desert.
I guess so. And she loves trance, but I'll let Belinda speak a little bit more about herself. So yeah.
Yeah, hey everyone. Thanks, guys, for inviting me to your podcast. Really happy to be on here. So I'm like a local Toronto DJ and producer from Toronto. Just grew up here in Toronto, and I've always loved trance. And so I used to attend a lot of shows in Toronto, trance shows in Toronto. Way like, oh my god, almost
How
like
long
10
been
years
raving?
ago.
Yeah.
Almost like 10
So
years ago.
so we
now.
just did the Coda 10-year anniversary. Is this your 10-year anniversary for
That was
raving?
this weekend.
Yeah.
10 years ago, 2014, right? So no, I've been raving before that, actually. Like, 2012 was actually my first Toronto rave. And yeah, like, I'm kind of just an up-and-coming DJ and producer. I play a lot of local shows here in Toronto, opening for many renowned trance DJs, like Giuseppe Ottaviani, Craig Connolly, Sean Tyas, Paul Denton.
So mostly just trance, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trance was your first true love?
Yeah.
As we
Well,
want to say it?
technically, like progressive house and back like Alesso. And
Oh,
like,
so you had your big room
I had
phase?
my
Did you
big
have a
room
big
phase.
room
I
phase?
think,
I think everyone
Yeah,
does.
big
everyone had a
room.
big room
Yeah.
phase. Like,
It was so lit at the time.
Yeah.
2012.
so good
Yeah.
back then.
Yeah,
Oh my
2015, 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
So good.
But then I segue into trance like a little bit afterwards, I guess.
Did you? So for me personally, I started with trance way before I even went to an event. I just listened to like Above and Beyond their ABGT, Trance Around the World. ABGT. Yeah. Trance Around the World. Above and Beyond. Such a good sound clip. Yeah. And then also, that's how I kind of got started. But did you find that before you started raving that you were listening to more trance?
I think it was kind of happening like around the same time or very close together, because my first rave was actually April 2012 for Decadence at Government, and I think back then like the lineup was like Alesso, Sander Van Dorn, Sebastian Ingrosso, Otto Knows. Oh my God,
man,
what is he doing right now?
I missed those days, right?
Yeah, and that was like really good, and it got me into that big room phase. But I think a couple of months later, I also went to Super 8 in Tab. We played at Beta in Waterloo, Ontario, which is another it's like a university town. Back then I was still in school, so.
Where'd you do your schooling? At Waterloo or Laurier?
At Waterloo.
Waterloo.
Nice.
Waterloo, yeah. So yeah, I frequented Beta a lot. There was a club there, and they used to bring a lot of trance shows there.
Yeah, they were cheap too.
Yeah,
because
like
that's
$10 tickets or something.
I remember I saw Gareth Army for like $5.
Yeah,
something wild. It was just like okay.
Yeah.
But I unfortunately that's why the club didn't last. Just because it's a student town. But great moment. I remember. I think the most epic one was like Skrillex when he was blowing up was playing there in like 2013. It was wild.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, that was good.
So yeah.
So the first time I met Belinda was last year at Gabriel and Dresden, which is a classic trance Anjuna Beats. He was playing at Coda all night long.
Open to close.
Open to close, actually. Yeah. So Sonny, where and when have you met Belinda?
Well, I met Belinda in London. We went for Ben Gold.
Yeah.
I went to Ben Gold. I love Ben Gold.
London, Ontario, by the way.
London, Ontario. not
UK.
Not in UK.
Yeah.
But that would have been interesting. It was like,
Yeah.
But yeah, we went for Ben Gold in London. Fantastic set. And then I think I was wearing an ASOS shirt.
You were wearing like an ASOS shirt, and then I complimented your shirt.
Yeah, it was fake too.
Wait, what do you mean? Did you make it yourself?
It was just one of those printed press ones that I bought.
That's good.
Yo, the actual ASOP merch is so expensive.
True.
Because they're shipping from UK.
I know.
Yeah,
that's
why.
always the problem.
That's why you got to go to ASOT. So ASOT is actually a state of trance. It's a radio show turned into festival.
It's Armin's, yeah.
It's
Armin's.
Armin.
Armin
It's made by
Van,
Armin,
yeah.
yes.
World-renowned.
World-renowned trance DJ and producer.
He's also playing at Escapade, so if you want to go see him.
And he's playing at Rebel.
And he's also playing at Rebel next week.
Next week.
Yeah.
Rebel, the Toronto, big Toronto club, super club.
So Benny, how did you meet Belinda?
I met Belinda at.
Do we want Benny telling the story? Or do we want
No,
Belinda telling the story?
I'll start the story and she can finish it. I met her. Where was this? Was this? It was at. I remember falling asleep at the club. I was sleeping at the.
Was it at Bar Cathedral?
Yeah. Yeah. I was so tired. I slept at the club. Who was it?
It was Sean Ties and Daniel Scabber playing, and I opened for them. And I think we were both invited to the same pre at our friend's house, who lives across from Cathedral. And I guess like you came in with our other friend, mutual friend, and then our mutual friend was like brought his like DJ equipment or something.
Yeah.
And like that was the first time. First of all, I didn't know that our mutual friend actually DJ'd, so that was the first time seeing that. And then secondly, I saw you, Benny, like setting up the equipment for him and like doing all the wiring. And then I was like, I never met this guy before. Like, did our friend bring a professional AV guy? So that's what I thought you were the whole time. I didn't know you were just like a regular guy.
I just brought my speakers and yeah.
That's jokes.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah, that's true. Many hands make things light. So what led you to DJing?
Well, like I mentioned, like early, like 2012, 2013, I started getting into trance and everything. And actually, like the very first time I started DJing, it was like I dated somebody who also kind of likes trance. And then he had like a controller in his house,
Mhm.
and so like I started like learning through him, and then I didn't really like pick it up back up until like maybe 2018 or 2019. I took like
Oh, so you took a break. You took a couple
yeah,
year break.
because like, I didn't have my own equipment, and
Ah.
we broke up, so like I wasn't DJing. We broke up.
And we'll talk about how
Yeah.
expensive it can be to get
Yeah.
started, right?
Yeah.
with the
Yeah, we
equipment?
will. We'll
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
about how it can be expensive. Yeah. So then I didn't pack that up, and I met some other friends who were all like DJs, and they were also like local DJs as well. They opened for a couple of people back in 2018, 2019. So I started like getting back into it, and before that, I was just like making like one mix a year kind of thing, posted on SoundCloud. And then since I met those friends, I started getting into it more, and then COVID happened, 2020, and so I was like, as with everybody was bored, and so like the Twitch thing started blowing up. Like everybody who was like a DJ started DJing on Twitch, and then I started DJing on Twitch too.
So you started during the COVID time. Oh,
Yeah, I
really?
started
Nice.
really picking
Nice.
that up during COVID time, and I think like most people really, and yeah, I started like just taking off from there, and then that's kind of like where I am today, just like taking off, and also I got to play some live gigs too, which I'll get into, and so
Well, yeah, we'll get into that, but did you feel so? One thing I've noticed now too, because I know so many DJ friends now. Did you feel pressured to start learning how to DJ because you hung around so many DJ friends? Because I kind of feel that sometimes on my end.
Yeah.
I'm just like, every time I go, someone's DJ.
You're like a
Just
pre,
like, and then
and
like
DJ.
a pre,
Yeah, yeah.
and then it's just like, who wants to go on the decks? Well, I don't know how to DJ.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, I guess I should probably start learning because
Right.
I keep getting asked.
maybe, yeah, because like I knew how to DJ back in like 2014, but then like I didn't actually like find a passion into it until I met like my friends who were like getting into it, and so like I didn't want to feel left out, right? So it was like, okay, let me just pick this back up again, and yeah, get into it.
It's also very nice to like bounce ideas off each other.
Yeah, yeah,
That's true.
and like also trade songs and everything with other DJs.
Do you have any pre-gig rituals? Like, do you
Or you want to talk about your first gig that you ever did?
Let's talk about first gig first.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's talk about
okay,
first
yeah.
gig first.
If you want to count this as the first gig, so back in September 2019, I played like at a private party. We rented out a venue called One Loft. It's not there anymore.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
That venue was kind of nice. It was like
Yeah.
it was like
Very
a little
intimate.
bit wiggle room
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was intimate, and we just invited a bunch of friends because like the DJ friends that I mentioned in my previous story, they both have a similar birthday like in September, and so they just had to throw a birthday party and just have everybody like who DJs on the lineup, which is like me and them, and so that was my first time actually playing to like a crowd. And I was like super nervous. Like I prepared my set and everything, and I was like practicing, like, and I was like trading, like switching songs and everything. And so like I was really nervous. I remember like coming in, like I played like the second slot, I think. And so like I was pretty nervous, and I was like kind of like shaking almost. And like
it is nerve wracking, right? It's like
Yeah,
giving
like-
a presentation, but through
Exactly.
your music, right?
I was like shaking, and then I couldn't like find my song, and then my friend was like, "Hey, just like relax, and like you're doing great." And I just pressed play, and then I just kind of like went with the flow, and I had a pretty good time, and yeah, that was my very first gig, I guess. My first like professional gig, I guess it would be at Baseline, which is another club here in Toronto. I know some promoter friends, Sleepless Events, who I think their very first like event that
Event
they
was
threw
there. I think it was there. Yeah.
And it was like was it during post-COVID? It was like October 2021, I guess.
Yeah,
So
it was
still
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of COVID-y. And so they brought like somebody, Summer Love, I guess they were from they're like an uplifting trance DJ from Kingston. I think he moved now. But anyways, yeah. So like I opened for him, and I played like a melodic techno, like progressive house set. And yeah, that was kind of nerve wracking too. It was like I haven't DJ'd live in like 2 years, and so I kind of like had to get back into it. But that was really cool because that was my first time playing like a melodic like techno and progressive house.
Because it was on the it was like on the uprise of that
yeah,
time. It was
exactly.
crazy.
And
And it's
yeah.
trance anyways, right, guys?
Yeah.
It's trance.
it is trance, yeah. And so I kind of had to like build the night, right? Because I was opening, so I had to play something like that. So that was pretty fun. And after that, like 2022 was the year I opened for a bunch of other DJs and Giuseppe, Craig Connolly, Sean Tyas, and then kind of just like went from there. And that was when like each show like I got less and less nervous.
No, that's good. That's what's expected, right?
Is there a certain point in the set where you just kind of get into the groove, get into the zone, and feel more comfortable? Yeah.
Yeah, I would say maybe like halfway into the set.
Halfway, yeah.
Yeah,
You're like dialed in.
Yeah, I'm like dialed in and like.
Do you have a signature move that you like to do behind the decks? Like, you know how Armin has his Jesus pose? Do you have anything though? A fist bump in the air?
I don't know. Like I like to like fiddle with my hands a lot, so I just be like.
Oh, like do it like this.
Like the loop,
The-
I guess.
Yeah.
That's a dance style.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said in the end you have to be enjoying it too,
Yeah.
right? So-
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
So, how many gigs have you done, if you can count, like a range of numbers?
Let's see. So went to maybe like less, maybe like 10. No, not 10. Maybe like 7 or so,
Okay.
Do you have like a
or 7.
pre-ritual to these
To
gigs?
get ready.
To get ready, yeah.
Yeah.
Pre-ritual. Well, I have to think about the track list. So I usually just open my laptop, which has Rekordbox in it, and I have like all these playlists that I create. So depending on like the artist and what BPM they're gonna start at, that's really important actually. You don't want to be like playing at the BPM above them. You want to be like below.
Yeah, you have to, especially as an opener, you have to.
Yeah.
You have to respect the headliner for how they're booked.
Yeah, so depending on their style too, because I've only ever opened for like trance DJs, so I would know like what their style is already. So let's say like if it's someone like uplifting like Craig Connolly, I would play like a more progressive trance set, like which I did. It's on my SoundCloud as well. Plug. So I did like progressive trance set and then get some Anjuna beats as well. If it's like for someone a little bit like tech trancey, then I would try to play like a little bit darker, like progressive house kind of thing. And so I just go through all my playlists and shortlist a bunch of songs that I like. It's actually kind of a long process because I have a lot of songs to go through, but I kind of know like from looking at the title which ones are my favorite, which one's not. And so I shortlist them, and then I kind of just like go through my shortlist and then remove songs that I don't like, rearrange them in the order that I think would flow best. And then definitely pick the first and last song.
How does that transition to your Twitch streaming though, where it's more freestyle, right?
Yeah, my Twitch style, I don't prepare anything for Twitch actually.
It's just you just go with the flow.
Yeah, I would.
Wouldn't you find that a bit more nerve wracking?
Actually, not really, because I don't really have a set like time like to end.
Oh, it's just more. It's
You
more
just
about
play
engagement,
whatever you
right?
want.
Exactly. Yeah. Whereas like in a gig, like you only have 1 hour, so you have to like make sure you get all the songs in. And then I was gonna say, as part of my ritual, I also make a backup playlist of songs that I might throw in if, let's say, the crowd is not feeling the song that I'm playing, then I throw in a different song. Or like if I have time left in the set, then I just I throw in the last track, which is I have done a couple times, which has saved my life actually. So yeah.
Yeah,
But-
it's a learning process, right? That's
Yeah.
the main thing. It's good.
Yeah.
Would you say you streaming on Twitch is just kind of like you practicing, or is it more of a professional type of deal with your audience?
I would say more like professional, not professional, practicing, I guess, because I remember before I played for my festival set back in California, I actually played a couple songs back to back on Twitch just to see how it would flow. And like, obviously they don't know that I'm doing that, but I'm actually practicing in transitions.
Yeah.
So, and it's fine. Like if you make a mistake, who cares? Like your Twitch streamers won't care. And
Yeah, and
they
it's
don't-
engaging too,
Yeah,
right?
it's engaging.
Whereas
Yeah.
during a set, you're not talking to the audience, which is like you have to read them to know if the track's working or not.
Yeah.
Whereas on Twitch, you could just look at the comments
Yeah,
and
look
be
at
like,
the comments. They spam emojis. That means it's good.
yeah, exactly. It's more fun. And like, oh, you guys want more of this? Okay, I'll play more
Okay.
of this.
It also humanizes you if you make mistakes on Twitch.
Like what Shaq said.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
For those who don't know, Shaq, I'll say it. Shaq DJ'd and then he screwed
At
up
Lost Lands.
At Lost Lands, and then the mixer screwed up, and he said, "Sorry, my dick hit the mixer."
Sorry about that, my dick hit the mixer. Just to let you know I'm going live, goddammit.
I'm trying to do
that on
live.
mic?
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
said
it
that on
mic.
mic.
He's like he had a dead air for a while, and then so, oh sorry, my dick hit the mixer. I'm trying to do this live.
It's just such a funny,
Yeah.
clippable moment. That's hilarious.
Wow.
Yeah. So see him at Escapade.
Yeah, see him at Escapade.
Yes.
He's a wild time.
So how do you back to the main topic? How do you balance your DJ life with your normal life?
It's hard, to be honest. So like being a DJ is not what I'm doing full time. I have a Monday to Friday job, and so like I would say it's hard, but you have to kind of plan like your time properly in order to like make it work and not like tire yourself out. Because last year actually, haven't really told anyone about this, but last summer, first half of the year, I kind of burned myself out a little bit with you know, my work, and then also like every free time I had, like I thought I would have to like work on music or like produce or anything, and it was tough because I didn't really have any time to like just like wind down at all. Like I was just like working my brain 24 hours a day. Well, not 24 hours.
It's like the goals you set up for that year, right? To try
Yeah.
and peruse. Yeah.
Trying to like, you know, I was actually like trying to like produce as much music as possible, and then like staring at a screen for 8 hours a day and then staring at another screen is actually really tiring. So I had to like take a step back last summer and just kind of like reprioritize and prioritize my health because that was kind of going down the drain in the first half of last year. And so like my sleep was just screwed up. My sleep was screwed up, and I couldn't like focus properly. And so I just dedicated like a certain amount of time on weekends now. Weekends are like when I'm most rested. And so I feel like if I just buckle down in the studio for like 5 hours, like you get a lot of stuff done versus trying to squeeze in as much as possible Monday to Friday after work when I'm already dead, brain dead.
Yeah, it's
It's hard.
Yeah.
And so I had to like kind of like do that. And that was actually last summer was when I started my radio series. And so I kind of wanted to do that as a part of like just me still working on music, but kind of more relaxed and not like trying to push myself to produce music and not get anywhere.
It's more fun, right?
It's more fun,
It's
yes.
like Twitch streaming, but you're doing it as like an
Yeah,
actual, like you're
radio,
putting it together, right?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
For for those, we'll have all the links to a lot, all these mixes and all Belinda's socials.
SoundClouds and
Yeah.
Definitely check them out. I've listened to each episode, and
Okay.
it's really good. It's like our trance styles are similar, so like I
yeah.
just enjoy the track list that you choose on those ones.
Yeah, I
So-
try to handpick all the best tracks.
Yeah.
Do you take that idea from the State of Trance Radio?
It wasn't really what I thought I had in mind, but like I know a lot of like smaller like trance DJs used to have radio shows. Like I don't know if you know, but Paul Denton used to have a Identify radio.
I remember that. Yes.
Yeah, Will Reese used to have a Will Reese podcast. And so I kind of just like, and then they kind of like stopped doing it, I guess, maybe because they got bigger. So I thought like maybe if I did something like that and kind of follow in their footsteps, like it can be in the right direction as to where my career is gonna go. Just like keep putting out content, you know, because I wasn't last year, like I wasn't really playing too many gigs besides the festival, and like I was still trying to like produce, and like it's not gonna be like you release a song like as soon as you learn how to produce, like that's not possible.
Yeah.
Unless you get a ghost producer. But and so like I wasn't putting out enough content last year, and so like doing the monthly radio show allowed me to like keep my I guess followers engaged with me
No,
and not forget about me.
I think it's a good idea.
It
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
Touching upon that, just to circle back a bit, I'm glad you took time for your mental health and like making sure your schedule was okay. But how did producing follow into that? Because obviously you started as a DJ, and then producing was the next step. But did producing add more stress trying to get into the studio during that time period, or was producing after?
I guess like obviously I love DJing, like that's like my first like love, and I think like producing I guess it was more stress because I was still learning, right? And so I was like getting a few lessons from from tutors, and I was making time for that, and I was trying to like make sure like I take what I learn and put it into my own stuff, and then it actually sounds and trying to make it sound good and get feedback. So all the while I'm doing all that, and it's it can get a little bit stressful because like obviously when you want to produce, you want to get as good as possible, as fast as possible. But that is not how it works. You have to take your time with it. And I think near the end of last year, I finally got a little bit of a handle on trying to make something sound good. And so, but that took like maybe like a year and a half, well, maybe 2 years, maybe. So, yeah, I think like it's stressful, but I think it's really good knowing that you have some music that you created yourself, because it kind of adds to you as like an artist. It kind of like makes you more unique.
You.
Yeah.
And you definitely
Yeah.
put it in your sets, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
that
yeah,
is
yeah.
it's like
And
a
so-
promo.
And so yeah, like I think it's been good, and I think it's been going well.
Do you want to talk about your first song you produced?
Do you use FL Studio or what do you use to produce?
I use Ableton.
Ableton.
Yeah.
Is FL, Ableton, and then there's Logic, right? The three big ones. Okay.
Yeah.
I think Ableton's like the
Cubase too.
industry's.
Cubase.
Uh,
Yeah.
I know most DJs use Ableton. I think it's the industry standard because of the plugins are wide. There's so many
Yeah.
plugins.
Mhm.
And I know like whoever's listening is a producer. There's gonna be some like debates about Ableton. But I personally like Ableton. It's the UI is really good and it's really easy to follow, especially for beginners. So, and yeah, back to the first track. My first track, Ice Kick, which is on Spotify.
Go take a look, guys. Go stream it.
Put it in the link.
Yeah. So that track, I started. Actually, it was my second or third track that I started, and that one it took a little while to get right. And actually, at the time, I had my tutor kind of like guiding me the right way to how to like finalize it. And so that came about, and it got released last July 2023, which is a pretty good time because that was when I started rebalancing my life and started getting my radio show out. And actually, I think I played that on my very first radio episode as well. And so just get the crowd going. And before that, I played as an ID during my during the festival that I played at in California in April last year.
You want to touch upon that festival? Because it looked really cool when we were talking about it, like the festival.
Yeah.
Like it's like more of like a local showcase, but they brought in DJs from all over the city. It was in the desert though, which was kind of cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that festival I played there. It's called Transport Festival in Southern California. It was held in the Mojave Desert in California. And so for that festival, I played for 2 hours. It was during a sunset set, which is pretty cool. And I played alongside headliners Christopher Lawrence, who I think is a very renowned psytrance DJ, and DJ Jordan, who's from Germany, is a pretty renowned techno DJ over there. And so yeah, I played there, and it was my first like international gig and also festival gig. And I felt like that was a really great experience for me because first time someone actually flew me out to go play somewhere, which is wild. I've only ever played at local shows here, and yeah, I was treated very well as well. The promoter was like awesome. Like they really were responsive, and they took care of me. They made sure that I got back to my hotel safe and sound. They drove me around everywhere. So
I remember when you were
like
talking
you
about it too. You had to ask, I think, one of our mutual friends like advice because like they're asking me what my rate is.
yeah,
Like, what is my rate?
I don't know, like yeah,
this
like all
question has never come up, right?
all these questions I had to like make sure to answer, and like and they sent me like I had to send them a contract and everything, and like. And I was like, okay, like this is getting kind of real now. like, like
That's
I'm not.
pretty stressful too.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
to
It
think
is.
about all these things.
Yes, exactly. And like now, like I have to take my career kind of seriously now because if more people reach out like this, I have to be like
you have to have it ready.
professional.
You have to have it ready to go.
have to
Like
be ready to go.
here's my terms and agreements.
Yes,
Exactly,
here's my
yeah.
contract. Here's my rate.
No negotiations.
Yeah, so it was an awesome time, and my set's also posted on SoundCloud as well.
Nice. So would you say that now that you DJ, in comparison to you as a raver, when you go to festivals right now, like is there a difference? Do you like tend to listen to sound cues, how you can actually listen to some of your inspired DJs when they do certain parts on the thing, like, oh, maybe that is inspiring me to gave me an idea to do
Yeah.
for my next set.
I think definitely before I became a producer, like when I was just DJing, like when I went to raves and stuff, I would actually hear like the transitions, and I would hear when they make mistakes.
So you'd cringe. You'd be like, oh
I'm
man,
like,
that was so
oh.
bad. You know what? To touch upon that,
Yeah.
this is where like we've gone to Dream State together.
Yeah.
And this is where our group's kind of cool too, because I think I'm gonna shout out Paul Denton. Remember when he played? What song was it? I totally forget him.
Don't ask you Afterburn.
Yeah, he played it twice in the set, and we're just like, he just played that.
And then like, am I hearing things?
And then it was funny too. We're looking at him, and we knew.
He looked really stressed out.
We knew he screwed up. Like he realized, oh shit, I just played this, and then
And
had
he
to
quickly transitioned out of it. Yeah. Before the first beat. So yeah, I started like hearing that stuff, and I was like, okay, cool. But then when I started producing, like my ears like opened up even more. So then like now when I listen to songs, when I listen to sets, I can kind of I hear like these ideas that they put into their songs, and then I start making a mental note to put that into my song, or try to like do that myself. I should probably write those down instead of mental notes. But yeah,
have your phone
Have
ready.
your phone
and just
ready,
realize
yeah.
writing
Like-
down. Yeah.
yeah, and so now it's like, it's cool because now I get like ideas from other people who are professionals in the game, to just kind of get into like my own production. So
Yeah,
that's
it
pretty
really
cool.
expands your love for EDM essentially.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you're getting into it a lot more now.
Yeah, you
You're
have more respect for
yeah.
what artists do, especially artists who have
Exactly.
been doing it for years.
We
and years.
started off
Yeah.
like as a raver, like for me as a baby raver, you start off there, and then you slowly start twitching around the decks, and then now I'm thinking of buying my own. So and, like, you know,
and I know myself and Benny have talked about this
Yeah.
too, where you love the Coda, especially you love that right side
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
see
the
what
right
the
side.
DJ is
Yeah,
doing.
yeah.
Because
When-
sometimes like people don't realize like some of these DJs mash like 2 or 3 songs together.
Yeah, it's
and
actually
they're doing it-
mesmerizing as hell.
Yeah.
yeah.
and they make it look seamless.
When I saw Fatima Haji at Coda, like the way how she fiddles with that
The bass.
the bass,
Yeah.
she goes in and out of that bass like. For me, I just started out like on the deck. I just leave it on, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not skillful
And-
enough to like go.
And I've told you too with you've recently gone to drum and bass
Yeah.
shows, and I'm like, yo, they're fusing 2 or 3
Three
songs
songs
together,
together, yeah.
and it actually sounds seamless.
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
So-
Yeah. So the better you are, the more gigs you get, right? So what's your goal for 2024 this year?
Well, I want to actually release some more music because I have a bunch of like projects here that I've been sitting on. I'm actually have a release coming out sometime in the future. I just got the decision was made by the label maybe like last week, and so I'm kind of like waiting for some contracts to come in for that. So that's pretty cool.
That's exciting.
So yeah, my second release, and then yeah, definitely going to focus more on releases and productions and getting even better. And then my other goal is maybe get back into some gigs. I know like the scene here is a little bit up and down in Toronto for trance,
Yeah.
and so I think like maybe I can play outside of Toronto, like the way I played at the festival. So
Anything
there-
with Twitch that you're planning to do? Is like your schedule, any set schedule, or is just still freeform?
my schedule for Twitch is Tuesday nights, starting between 6:30 to 7:30, and then goes to like maybe 9:30 or 10:30. So that's my
It's like what 3-4 hour set.
3 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, Twitch can be a very interesting place. Do you have any funny stories that you had over the years? Anything with Twitch? Any interesting users?
Okay, if you're gonna talk about users, there's been some interesting users which I've had to ban actually.
Oh man, that's rough.
Yeah, like I think like it's hard because like I'm also a female DJ and there's not much of us around, and plus we get harassed a lot by misogynic males, and so like there's been a couple of users on Twitch that have been not so friendly, and
They can hide on the internet. That's the problem. Doesn't
exactly
matter where
they're
they go.
keyboard warriors. They can do whatever they want, and then like luckily I have a great team of moderators on Twitch, and so if it wasn't them banning or it's me banning, and it's just like So there's that. But in terms of like other more uplifting Twitch stories, I entered the Groove Cruise DJ contest. I think it was last year or 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago now, 2022. What year are we in? 2024.
I know, it's still processing
Oh my
that.
god, I keep saying last year like 2022. It was like 2 years ago. So I entered that contest, and basically like they open up like a contest where like DJs can submit their 30-minute mix, video mix, and you submit it, and then they shortlist you, and then they broadcast your mix on their Twitch channel, and then people on Twitch have to vote for which set they like best, and so. So I did that, and I asked, like, I posted on Instagram my show, so I was like, hey guys, I'm entering this contest. It'd be great if you can vote for me on September 13th, whatever, when I'm playing at this time. And so, you know, I did like a pre-party on Twitch as well for that, like leading up to my set was going to be on their Twitch channel. And so, like, I saw a lot of like support there. Like I saw people that I never actually seen before, like supporting me, during my pre-party, and then during like when I raided into the channel, so me like taking my viewers to that Twitch channel, the Groove Crew channel, like everyone was rooting for me there, and then like it was pretty cool because like I didn't know that there were so many people out there that was supporting me.
Yeah, that's always a good feeling, right?
Yeah,
that's so nice.
And like,
especially in the trance community, because we're a small community anyway, so it's nice that people from like other places in North America are like tuning in, trying to support you.
That's one of the good things about like a small community like that. Everyone supports each other. Yeah. So if there's any like,
it's good for the scene.
And whenever there's a trance DJ that comes into town, small or like upcoming DJs, like you would see the same people here in Toronto, and they always support each other.
Yeah,
and they always have that little flag, Toronto Trance Family.
Trance Family, yeah.
And who signs those? The DJs, right?
The DJs,
usually, yeah. I had mine signed at Giuseppe.
Where do you get them?
There was someone locally who was making them. Someone part of the trance, the Trance Family, Toronto Trance Family. They were like making flags for everyone.
Oh, I guess you
had
can't.
to like custom. They had to custom order. Like you had to request it, and then they made it.
Yeah.
Maybe I should get one.
Oh yeah, back to the Groove Cruise thing. One more thing I wanted to mention in terms of support, like there was like a bunch of people who posted in Discord servers like as well, and I didn't know this, but someone told me that like Ali K, like the local techno DJ, she posted about me in her Discord server, and she got a whole bunch of people to vote for me. Even though I didn't win, like I didn't know like she was doing that, and so I had to like thank her personally, and she said, you know, it's good to like at least even if you don't win, at least you get on the radar, and the higher your votes are, the more your radar there increases.
Actually, she's
playing
at Groove Cruise this weekend.
Yeah, that's why she's saying like even if you don't win, like you might get a chance, because I didn't win either, and they still booked me for the next year, so maybe like, you know, don't give up kind of thing. And so that was cool. I had that conversation with her. It was short, but like it was cool that, you know, local DJs support local DJs kind of thing.
That's how it has to be. Yeah, we love it. Well, we talked about Ali K before. For a local DJ, we love her.
Yeah.
Like, she does so much for the scene, especially as a female representation.
Exactly.
Which will.
Yeah. We have some really good talent in Toronto. Yeah.
We all like it, Ali K. So,
Dream Back to Back.
Yeah. Dream back to back.
And your what is it? Your influences. I'm assuming one of your influences is probably your Dream Back to Back, right?
Yeah. I thought about this question before, and probably Paul Denton, because Paul Denton is a mainly tech trance DJ and producer, but he also creates some really amazing uplifting trance as well. And so like that's kind of like the style that I really like and go for. If my goals to be, as a DJ producer, actually producer goals, would be probably Paul Denton, because he just the way that all his releases have been just gold for me, and his style as well. If you listen to his sets, is very like a mix of tech and uplifting, which is exactly my style as well. And I think like if we would go to back to back, we would definitely like play well together.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's listening.
Shout out Paul Denton.
We'll send this clip straight to him.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of trance DJs do, a small community, right? They actually look at when you tag them, when you post them, they actually repost them. So it's kind of cool. You can have conversations with them too, and it's really nice.
Yeah, because they're small, and then they manage their own social media.
Yeah, usually, smaller DJs, especially.
Can you explain to us how a back-to-back set works? Is it like truly back-to-back? I play one song, you play another song, and if it goes.
I think it
between-
varies sometimes. I to touch upon that. I know sometimes. We'll let Belinda go into this more, but I know sometimes some DJs do like 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, or something like that.
Yeah, I played a back-to-back set before. When I opened for Giuseppe Ardivani, it was a back-to-back set, and so like for me planning the set with the other DJ, we just got on like a call and we just decided to pick the tracks that we wanted to play, and he was pretty easy about it. But like we just kind of made it so that like one person plays one song that they want to play, the other person plays the other song, kind of like switch back and forth, kind of like that.
And it had to flow together, right? Like if they wanted. Okay.
Do you talk
Yeah.
about how like you're gonna transition from that one song to the other song, from that one DJ to the other DJ?
It's in back-to-back.
Yeah, and back to back, yes.
So it's pretty simple. Like the person playing the song will play their song, and then we kind of take our headphones off, and then someone else like gets in front of the mixer, and then they do their own thing. And so it's kind of like back and forth like that. It's not really too complicated, really.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of one person plays another song, the other person plays another song. So it's kind of like that.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Nice.
nothing
Just-
complicated really,
okay.
unless you make it complicated, which I haven't had experience in doing before.
Or like
so.
those impromptu. I've always wanted those impromptu back-to-backs. You know, like where like, oh, I'll just go up to the deck, put in my thing, and just start like DJing with someone else. I think that's probably where it gets kind of like wild in terms of like
Yeah.
just what goes together and what mashes up. But yeah, you haven't had to do that, have you?
No, I mean, during house parties, like of course it's gonna be wild like that. But
Sure.
during a professional like gig, like you have to literally like be professional.
There's some
about it.
coordination
Yeah.
involved.
Coordination,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Okay.
All right, so time is almost up. We're gonna have one question for you. Fuck, marry, kill. Who are your influencers or DJs that you would choose?
No, so we have to give her 3.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
how it works. So
Oh, okay.
we chose, we selected, knowing her history, we selected 3, and now she has to organize it. So we chose,
Brian
Frank?
Kearney, Will Reese, and Schneider.
who would you kill, fuck, and marry?
So yes, obviously those 3 are some of my influences. So I guess this is a really hard question, by the way. Like I don't want to kill any of them.
Yeah, you never
But
do.
You never
Yeah.
do. You gotta choose
You
one.
gotta choose one.
I guess during like my recent my recent loves so far, I guess I would kill Brian Kearney. I would fuck Schneider and marry Will Reese.
Hey.
Hopefully you guys are not listening to this. Don't send this to Will Reese. It's very embarrassing.
We love Will Reese on this
Yeah.
panel.
Yeah, we do.
Okay,
Alright.
outside from DJing, what other hobbies do you have?
Well, I don't really have much free time. If you,
That's
if
the
you,
thing,
if you
guys.
combine if you combine my job and this and my radio show and producing, but
Would you consider like DJing is your hobby?
yeah, I would say like music, just music in general is my hobby, whether it be like doing my radio show or whether it be producing or whether it be Twitch. Like that's a lot of stuff to do in music. But the little free time I have, like I said, I was trying to prioritize my health a little bit, so I like to go for walks. And I play Pokemon Go when I go for walks.
Yeah. it's still the craze, right? And you have
Yeah.
a lot of Pokemon too.
Yeah.
From what I've, you like to collect Pokemon.
Like the plushies,
The
yeah.
plushies.
I have too many.
What is too many? Do you want to divulge that info? You can give a
So-
range.
Would you care to share a picture of it or?
I can't. Oh, did I?
I'll put it on the.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
put it on
I'll
the
put it
video.
on.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
send
yeah.
you one. I'll put it on. But
We'll do a user vote. Is this too many?
so I had bought like a shelf, and it's supposed to be like a bookshelf, but I just filled it with Pokemon plushies. Like it just filled. Like there's 4 or 5 levels, and it's all filled with plushies. So I would say maybe like 50 or 60.
Do you have a favorite Pokemon? over the years?
Which generation of Pokemon
Oh yeah,
is the
that
best?
too. Yeah.
Oh, I'm kind of old school, so I
Yeah,
really
first
like
gen.
the first
First gen.
generation. 151, baby.
Yeah.
The Poke Rap. I bet we all knew the Poke Rap at one point. At the end of the episodes.
Oh yeah.
Where they named different Pokemons.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
so good.
So who's your okay? before I say your favorite Pokemon, when first gen started, which is your starting tree? Like out of the starting tree, which one would you pick?
Oh.
There's Charmander, there's Squirtle, and Bulbasaur.
I think when I played, I think I chose Squirtle. I know Charmander is everyone's favorite, but I don't know why. I think I picked Squirtle.
No one chose Bulbasaur. Unfortunately.
All leads to getting the Pikachu in the next map. So
Yeah, exactly.
So with that being said, like, who's your favorite Pokemon?
Well, recently I don't know what would make a favorite Pokemon, but I guess like Gengar, because my favorite color is purple and he's like purple and he's just kind of like has a funny looking smile.
You can get a lot of plushies for that. I think he's pretty popular too.
He is popular, yeah. You can get a lot of Gengar plushies in Japan. Like he's one of the main like plushies that you can get besides Pikachu.
So you bring a suitcase back, right?
It's on the side of her headphones.
Oh yeah.
I just realized that too.
I got this sticker from Japan actually.
So you've been to Japan. Do you bring back plushies?
Oh yeah, it was overflowing, and that was an issue.
full.
I actually just came back from Japan like a few months ago, not too long ago.
You had another suitcase? Like
Yeah, I had to buy a new
Oh, you had to
suitcase.
buy a
Yeah.
suitcase.
Oh my.
Yeah,
It's actually a lot cheaper to like buy a box, wrap it up, and then just ship it back.
yeah. Or like the suitcase is really cheap too.
Yeah.
When you buy in Japan, you can get like a pretty big suitcase for like $50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
So,
Gotta bring those plushies, right?
yeah. I think half
You
my
can't get them
suitcase-
here, right?
Half my suitcase was plushies, at least half.
That's funny.
All right, so going on to like how expensive DJing can get. So when you buy your gear and whatnot, is it like secondhand or like first hand?
Do you have any advice for
Do you have any advice
for the audience?
Yeah, so I think if you want to just get like basic controller and a basic headphones, the controller you can get a pretty decent one for like maybe $300, and then my pair of headphones is $300. But you can get like you can downgrade the headphones or the controller if you want. So the total would be $600, or maybe like half of that if you want to downgrade your gear a little bit. But I would say like if you're I would recommend the more medium sized version, which is like the $300 one each. So there's that, and then you'll need like a proper laptop or PC. If you get a controller that needs to connect to a laptop to get your music on, so that that varies depending on what kind of laptop or PC or MacBook that you want.
Usually the $300 controllers require a laptop.
Exactly,
Did you
yeah.
buy secondhand for the controllers? Or did you?
So I have my first controller I bought it secondhand. So I think that
I
was
think that's probably the best advice for
Yeah,
everyone.
yeah.
Just
Exactly, yeah.
buy something
Buy secondhand. Yeah.
Because you don't
Yeah.
know if you're actually going to enjoy it either.
Yeah,
That's what
exactly,
you're getting
yeah.
into.
Yeah, so that was like maybe $200 or so. But then I actually upgraded to CDJs.
That's the one with the mixer in the middle and then the two on the side.
So I bought like there's like that's an all-in-one controller. Maybe that's what you're talking about.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I bought like separate decks. So you have to
Separate
buy like a
CDJs.
separate mixer, a separate deck, like both decks.
Yeah.
And so I did that right before COVID actually, which is pretty helpful because that was when I started teaching on Twitch. So I bought that on Facebook Marketplace actually. So it was like an all-in-one like deal for like $3,000 for all of that. I think no, $3,500 actually. Whereas the whole setup normally it would be like $5,000 or more. So since I got secondhand, I had to go to Vaughan, which is another city like in the Greater Toronto area, to pick it up from that person's house. So like I just went to their basement, I checked it out, I played a few songs, make sure it works, and then I just picked it up. And so
But it was
yeah,
$3,000.
$3,500, yeah.
Ooh. It's still an expensive hobby to get into. That's
So if you're just a beginner, I would not recommend you do that. But because like I was kind of like not a beginner, I would want to do that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You put the time already in, right, to see that you enjoyed it and that it works.
You
Exactly.
progressively get better and better here.
I mean, it's funny.
Yeah,
we
exactly.
say the same thing about the podcast, right?
Yeah,
Like
exactly,
it's everything's progression. We have goals for 2024
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
You have goals for 2024. It's just
We
you
all have to
add
start
on to
somewhere.
it. Yeah, you all have to add on to it, right? And
Yeah.
just keep improving.
And
Yeah.
just another hint, raving is expensive.
Yes, it is
Yeah.
expensive. What about Twitch? Anything you had to do for Twitch setup wise? Anything different?
So Twitch, it can vary. Like for me, I kind of have like a more like high end setup. But for a lower end setup, you can literally just have like a camera, a good camera, which may cost $200 or so, $250 maybe, a clear one. And then depending on if you want to do visuals or not, you have to. I mean, I get my visual for free on like a free website, but you can have to like create your own visuals or just get or buy some. And then you have to have your Streamlabs, which is your streaming software. OBS or Streamlabs is the main two, I would say. Your camera. Actually, you don't even need a camera if you're kind of like if you're kind of camera shy. You can literally just like get your controller connected to the computer, connected
and
to
just
the
show
software.
the decks.
Just
or
show the
something?
decks.
Show the
Yeah.
decks or just show some visuals, like whatever. Connect the controller to the laptop or computer, and then make sure like the software is reading it properly. And then you just hit go live and you're good to go. You don't even have to have a mic even. But if you want to do all that, like the mic, the camera, different like camera angles, for me, I do like the whole setup where I do my decks. I have my camera. I have 3 cameras actually. One for like facing me, one for like a side view, and one for just my decks. And then I also have my laptop, which is connected to my decks, which is connected to the laptop. Connected to my PC. So I actually have 2 like computers running at the same time. So there's that, and then I have my microphone, which is connected to the actual mixer of the my decks. And then I have my Stream Deck, which is like you can press a bunch of buttons and you can change the camera angles and everything if you wanted to. That's why I have 3 camera angles.
Do you post on YouTube?
Yeah. I have a YouTube, but I don't post my Twitch sets on
You just
YouTube.
do the your recent DJ mixes, the
Yeah.
radio show, right?
Yeah, right now I'm trying to like build up my YouTube. So I don't have anything other than my radio show, and there was a guest mix that I did last year. So I'm trying to like next time I get like an international gig or something, I'll try to record and post on YouTube as well. But yeah, so far that's all I've been using YouTube for, and for Twitch, I don't normally record because first of all, it takes a lot of space on my computer, and it's just better when you're there live. And so if you can catch me streaming, great. If not, then catch me next time.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I think that pretty much covers everything. So do listen to DJ Belinda's podcast. Sorry, not podcast.
Do you want to
Radio
tell the
show.
audience where people can find you?
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube.
It's at DJ Belinda, right?
Yep.
DJ
So
underscore Belinda.
my username is slightly different. It's DJ_Belinda on Instagram and on SoundCloud, and DJ Belinda 1 at Facebook and Twitter, and DJ Belinda with no underscore on YouTube and TikTok.
I'm impressed you actually remember. It's all different.
Yeah.
You're actually like going through and remembering. As
We'll
we'll
have
have
it
links
Yes.
all
in the description.
videos.
Yeah.
Anything you
Yeah.
want to say? Final words.
Any final thoughts? Yeah.
Sign off.
No, I think it's been really fun talking about all this with you guys. I actually never talked about it at length with anyone before, so it's been pretty cool reflecting back on where I started and how it's going, and hopefully some more exciting stuff in the future. And so if you want to be a DJ or producer and you don't mind my advice, whatever I can give, let me know. You can find me on my socials as well. Follow me there. My radio show, monthly. Yeah, hopefully more exciting news to come in 2024.
Great. Thanks for being our first guest.
Yes.
That's
Thank
really
you.
exciting. Have anything you want to say?
Yeah, we can just cap off the episode. Next week we were going to talk about preparing for a festival because
Christine is back next.
Christine is back and she is going to Ultra Miami.
Yeah. So,
So,
we'll have
Nice.
tips.
yeah.
We'll have tips for
We
Ultra
are
Miami.
going to give you some hot tips, and we'll put something in the description for this episode. And we'll see you next time.
All right. Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Bye.
Thanks for
Bye.
listening. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.